ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Okay, good morning. Now we can start. So next chapter in your syllabus. So that is current, electricity. Current, electricity. That means electric current. Till now you know about static electricity, electric charges and fields, potential, capacitance, Gauss law, everything. That is, everything must be based about charges are at rest. Charges are at rest. Static charge does not produces electric current. If the charges are in motion, then only current produced. Static electricity. So charge at rest produces electric field but not electric current. So current, electricity. In our first year syllabus we come across two types of currents. Thermal current and fluid current. Thermal current. What is meant by thermal current? Heat energy flows from one place to another place. How the heat energy flowing? Heat energy flows in solids, liquids and gases. If the heat energy flows in solids, that process is called conduction, next convection, next radiation. We know about this. And fluid current, rate of flow of fluid. Fluid is flowing from one place to another place. Fluid is flows from one place to another place. So how the fluid flows from one place to another place? How the heat energy flows from one place to another place? How this flow exists? That is important. Here also, how the charges flows from one place to another place? How the charges moving from one position to another position? Due to what? That is the important thing here. So first condition is here, how the heat energy flows from one place to another place? Mainly because of temperature difference. Without, if the temperature is same, for example, see here, so this is the uniform rod, both the ends of the rod are at the same temperature. There is no flow of heat energy from one place to another place. If the temperature difference exists, then only heat energy flows from one end to other end. So that is thermal current. Then we call it as thermal current. In this we discussed about thermal resistance, everything. But what is fluid current? Fluid flows from one place to another place. For example, river flows from one place to another place, or water flows from one place to another place. How the fluid flow exists? If there exists any pressure difference, then only fluid flow exists. If there is no pressure difference, fluid flow does not exist. That's very, very important thing. So thermal flow, thermal current exists due to temperature difference. Fluid flow, that means fluid current exists due to pressure difference. And here electric current, charge flows due to potential difference. Without the potential, if the both ends are at the same point, for example, this is, so let us say this is the conductor. For example, copper wire. If both the ends are at the same potential, if there is no potential difference between the ends, current does not flows. So that is definitely there must be a potential difference, then only electric current flows. So now come to the topic. What is meant by electric current? Simply, how can you define electric current? How can you define this? How can we define electric current? Simply, rate of flow of charge. Rate of flow of charge is called electric current. Rate of flow. So that means the number of charged particles crosses certain position in unit time. That is called electric current. So simply we can write it as I is equals to Q by T. Simply it is called I is equals to Q by T. What is Q? Charge by time. Rate of flow of charge is called electric current. Rate of flow of charge is called electric current. Simply it is I is equals to Q by T. How the charged particles move from one position to another position? So that is very important here. So for example, let us say it is the conductor. This is the conductor. So this conductor consists of both positive charged particles as well as negatively charged particles. This conductor consists of both positively charged particles as well as negatively charged particles. How these charged particles moves in a conductor? Randomly in different direction. We can't define the direction of the charged particles in a given conductor. So that means only valence electrons. In case if we consider rate of flow of charge, generally valence electrons moves in the free space like that. So that is charged particles. How the charged particles moving in a conductor? Randomly in different directions. We can't define the direction. So that's why in a given conductor, the direction of flow of current or flow of current is not possible to define. Now, if you apply certain amount of potential difference, across the ends of the conductor, so positively charged particles, let us say it is the discharge tube, this is positive terminal, this is negative terminal. So based on this positive terminal, positively charged particles moving in this direction and the negatively charged particles moves in this direction. Positively charged particles must move in this direction and negatively charged particles must move in this direction. So because of why the charged particles are in motion here? Due to the external potential. If you apply any external potential difference, so that means this is battery or cell, whatever it is. If you connect this, then only positively charged particles moving like this, negatively charged particles moving like this. In these two, which one is considered as direction of current? So remember that current must have both magnitude and direction, and it is a fundamental physical quantity. Then what is the direction of current? In the direction of positively charged or in the direction of negatively charged? The direction of current must be in the direction of motion of positively charged particles. The direction of the current is considered as in the direction of the positively charged particles are opposite to the direction of the negatively charged particles. That is the direction of the current. In the direction of motion of positively charged particles or opposite to the direction of the negatively charged particles. That is the direction of the current. Now, due to the application of the external potential, charges are moving from one place to another place. One place to another place. That means certain amount of motion exists. That rate of flow of charge. That means number of charged particles moving per unit time. Number of charged particles are moving per unit time is called current. That is the existence of the electric current. What is that? Remember that the current is a scalar quantity. Of course, it having magnitude and direction. It does not obeys laws of vector addition. It does not obeys laws of vector addition. That's why current is a scalar quantity. It doesn't have that means it having both magnitude and direction. What is the direction? In the direction of motion of positively charged particles or opposite to the direction of negatively charged particles. That is the direction of the current. Next. So, that is a fundamental physical quantity and its unit is ampere or coulomb per second. Charge unit is coulomb, time unit is second. Its unit is ampere or coulomb per second, and its dimensional formula is denoted with capital A. Dimensional formula of current is denoted with capital A because it is the fundamental physical quantity. It does not depend on any other quantities. So, that is next. So, main important thing is it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. It must have direction. Current must have direction. Then based on this, what is the direction of current? The direction of the current is in the direction of motion of positively charged particles and in the direction of motion of positively charged particles are opposite to the direction of negatively charged particles. This is the direction of the current. The direction of the current is in the direction of motion of positively charged particles or opposite to the direction of negatively charged particles. So, this is current and rate of flow of charge. So, for example, next. So, for example, here the condition is if n number of positively charged or negatively charged particles if n number of positively charged or negatively charged particles moving, then the current is considered as general formula I is equals to Q by T. Q can be written as N E by T. I is equals to N E by T, where E is charge of electron or proton or positively charged particle. So, what is the charge? 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Charge remains constant. That is why Q is equals to N E by T, that is plus or minus plus or minus. So plus means positively charged particles, minus means negatively charged particles. So generally we can write it as I E by T, N E by T. So this is the current. Next, so average current can be written as average current I can be written as delta Q by delta T, the number of charged particles divided by change in time. So generally Q by delta T, total interval of time, total charge flows. I is equals to Q by delta T, total charge flows between the time interval from, for example, 1 second to 5 seconds or 5 seconds to 10 seconds, where we are starts the time, from that time to another time. That is I is equals to Q by delta T. I is equals to Q by delta T. Then instantaneous current. Instantaneous current can be written as, if delta T tends to 0, I is equals to limits delta T tends to 0 Q by delta T. So from this we can write I is equals to dq by dt. I is equals to dq by dt. Rate of flow of charge. Rate of flow of charge. This is the instantaneous current. I is equals to dq by dt. Or we can write dq is equals to I dt. Integral of dq is equals to integral of I dt. Integral of t1 to t2 I dt. If the current varies with the time, we can calculate charge. If the charge varies with the time, we can find out current. I is equals to dq by dt. I is equals to dq by dt. This is the instantaneous current. Instantaneous current. Based on this, we can calculate charge. Q is equals to integral of I dt from t1 to t2. T1 to t2. This is current and instantaneous current and average current. So generally we have two types of current. One is direct current and alternating current. So we have two types of current. So first one is direct current. Direct current in the sense DC, AC DC generally, that is direct current. DC in the sense the direction and magnitude of the current does not varies with respect to time. The magnitude and direction, magnitude and direction, magnitude and direction of current does not varies with the time. The magnitude and direction of the current does not varies with the time, then that is called direct current. So that means then generally it is denoted with, this is I and it is time, this is. Of course, due to the change in the time, current does not changes. Due to the change in the time, current does not changes. Next, alternating current. Alternating current. Alternating current means the magnitude and direction of the current, magnitude and direction of current periodically varies with time. Periodically varies with time. Magnitude and direction of the current periodically varies with the time, that is called alternating current. How it periodically varies with the time? So this is periodically varies with the time. This is current and this is time. So that means here the current is 0. With increase in time, current also increases, reaches to peak and again reaches to 0 and again this one. So generally this is equals to I naught sin omega t. I is equals to I naught sin omega t. So sine function periodically varies with the time. So what is the maximum value of sine value? +1. Minimum value is -1. So sine value always varies between +1 and -1. That is the periodic function. So this is the alternating current. So magnitude and direction of the current periodically varies with the time. That is called, what is that? Alternating current. These are the two types of current we have, direct current and alternating current. So instantaneous current and average current can be defined in these situations. But in this situation both are same because current does not varies with the time. Current does not varies with the time in case of direct current. So average current or instantaneous current both must be same. That's so next, what is meant by conventional current? So one word, that is conventional current. Conventional current in the sense, so generally what is the direction of the current means? In the direction of flow of positively charged particles. If we consider the flow of positively charged particles, that current is called conventional current. Conventional current. Generally, flow of electrons is considered as electric current. Flow of electrons. Electrons are moving from one place to another place. Why the electrons are moving? Due to the external potential difference. So instead of electrons, if we consider the motion of the positively charged particles, that is called conventional current. But in general, we consider negatively charged. Electrons are moving. What is the direction of the current? Opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So that is important. You must remember, direction of current must be in the direction of flow of positively charged particles or opposite to the direction of negatively charged particles. So that is the thing. Now, so current I is equals to generally Q by T, rate of flow of charge. So now here the question is, if an electron revolving in a circular path with certain revolving in a circular path with certain speed v, whose radius is equals to, whose radius is r, around the nucleus. So this is the question. An electron revolving in a circular path with certain speed v, whose radius is r, around the nucleus. So that means electron is revolving around the nucleus. What is the current associated with this? What is the current associated with this motion? That is the question. How can you find out the current? So electron revolving in a circular path with certain speed v around the nucleus, or if a charged particle whose charge is q, whatever it is, then how can you calculate? So see here, electron revolving in a circular path, whose radius is r, during one revolution. So time is equals to general formula distance by speed. Distance by speed. For one revolution the distance is 2 pi r divided by speed is v. T is equals to distance by speed. If an electron completes one circular path, so that is distance by speed. The distance travelled by the electron is 2 pi r divided by speed is v. Distance travelled by the electron is 2 pi r and its speed is v, that is T is equals to 2 pi r by v. T is equals to 2 pi r by v. So therefore we know I is equals to q by T. So I is equals to q by 2 pi r by v. So I is equals to qv by 2 pi r. I is equals to qv by 2 pi r. This is the current associated with the motion of the electron around the nucleus. Motion of the charged particle around the nucleus. So that is revolving in a circular path. What is the current associated with that? qv by 2 pi r. Simple formula. Simple. So what is v? Speed of the charged particles. What is q? Charge of the charged particle. If it is the electron, q is nothing but e. So continuation. If q is equals to e, then I can be written as ev by 2 pi r. ev by 2 pi r. So that is the condition. So now if the angular velocity is mentioned, now we know v is equals to r omega. So therefore I is equals to ev by 2 pi r. So e by 2 pi r into v is considered as r omega. R gets cancelled. E omega by 2 pi. I is equals to e omega by 2 pi. I is equals to e omega by 2 pi. That is the situation. So if the linear velocity is mentioned, then we can write ev by 2 pi r. If angular velocity is mentioned, e omega by 2 pi. What is E? Charge of an electron. If it is another charged particle, if the charge is mentioned, q omega by 2 pi. That is. So this is the one condition, one application. An electron revolving in a circular path with certain speed, whose radius is r around the nucleus. What is the current associated with that? How much amount of current produced due to that motion? For one, here I am considering only one revolution. So that is time period to complete one revolution. That is T is equals to distance by speed 2 pi r by v. I is equals to q by T. So that is I is equals to qv by 2 pi r. Then we can write I is equals to ev by 2 pi r, e omega by 2 pi. So next, next application in this. For example, if N1 positively charged particles moving from left to right, N1 positively charged particles moving from left to right, N2 negatively charged particles N2 negatively charged particles moving from right to left, find the current left, let us say in the time interval t. Find the current. Find the current associated with that. So now N1 positively charged particles moving from left to right, N2 negatively charged particles moving from right to left. So positively charged particles. So these positively charged particles, let us say these are moving from left to right, and N2 negatively charged particles are moving from right to left. So this is N1 and this is N2. Then find out the electric current, that we have to calculate. So what is the direction of the current? We must consider the direction of the current is in the direction of motion of positively charged particles or opposite to the direction of negatively charged particles. So first condition, what is the current due to positive charged particles? I1 is equals to N1 E by T. I is equals to Q by T. How many charged particles here? N1. That's why I1 is equals to N1 E by T. So that is the current due to the positively charged particles. So in what direction? What is the direction? Left to right. Next, second one, what is the current due to negatively charged particles? Current due to negatively charged particles, I2 is equals to N2 E by T. So these are N2, electron charge is E, N2 E by T. In this situation, what is the direction of the current here? The direction of I1 is left to right, because the direction of the current must be in the direction of positively charged particle. So that is, what is the direction of motion of the charged particles? Positively charged particles. Direction of motion of positively charged particles from left to right. Then what is the direction of motion of negatively charged particles? Right to left. Then what is the direction of the current here? Right to left or left to right? Here also it is from left to right. Why? Because the direction of the current must be opposite to the direction of motion of negatively charged particles. So here also it is from left to right. So here the negatively charged particles are moving from right to left. That's why the direction of the current is opposite to that motion. So that is left to right. Then total current, I is equals to I1 plus I2. So N1 E by T plus N2 E by T. Then I is equals to N1 plus N2 into E by T. I is equals to N1 plus N2 into E by T. This is the current, electric current due to this condition. So the direction of the current in this situation must be from left to right. So next, for example, next situation. So let us say if we draw the graph between charge and time, charge and time, how can we calculate the current? We know I is equals to dq by dt, or simply we can write it as q by t. I is equals to dq by dt or q by t. So that means in the given graph, q, let us say q is considered as y axis, t is considered as x axis. So here we got the relation I is equals to dq by dt, that is q by t. That means y component by x component. Q is along y axis, t is along x axis, that is y component by x component. Y component by x component in the sense slope. Slope in the sense y component by x component. So that's why here the condition is slope of qt graph gives current. So let us say this is the graph. If the charge varies with the time, if the time increases, charge also increases. Time increases, charge also increases. That means slope of qt graph gives current. So like this, okay. For example, slope in the sense, for example, if it is 60 degrees, how can you calculate slope here? Slope is equals to m, that is equals to tan theta also we can calculate. Tan theta also we can calculate. So tan theta, because tan theta in the sense opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side? Q. Adjacent side is T. So Q by T is nothing but current. So that means here I is equals to tan theta. I is equals to tan 60, that is equals to root 3, 1.732 amperes. The current is 1.732 amperes. This is one condition. So that means this is charge time graph. The slope of the charge time graph gives electric current. Slope of charge time graph gives electric current. So slope in the sense we can calculate tan theta. Tan theta means opposite side by adjacent side. Now I equals to tan 60 root 3, that is 1.732. Next. For example, this is Q and this is T. The shape of the graph will be like this. The shape of the graph will be like this. This is the shape of the graph. Right. Here it is 0. So 2 seconds. 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds time, let us say. Let us say it is 4, 6, like that. Just we have to consider some values. Here, based on this, so this is the charge time graph. Charge time graph. Now, here the question is, find the current after time 2 seconds or at the time 2 seconds. Find from this graph, first condition is find the current at the time of 2 seconds. Find the current at the time of 2 seconds. So at the time of 2 seconds, what is the amount of charge here? 4. At the time of 2 seconds, the amount of charge is 4 coulombs, let us say 4 coulombs. Then the current I can be written as Q by T, or the slope of the graph. Slope of the graph. What is the slope of the graph here? So that is 4 by 2, that is 2 amperes. Find the current at the time of 2 seconds. After time interval of 2 seconds, the current is I is equals to Q by T. Let us say it is 8. I is equals to Q by T. Q is 4 coulombs. Time is 2 seconds, because slope of the graph we have to find out. Slope means y component by x component. Y component by x component. What is y component here? Charge. X component is time. At the time of 2 seconds, what is the charge? 4. 4 by 2, that is 2 amperes. No doubt about that. So here again, find the current at the time of 4 seconds. Find the time of current at the time of 4 seconds. Now, in this situation, after 4 seconds, so I is equals to again Q by T, that is 8 by 4, 2 amperes only. The current at the time of 4 seconds is 2 amperes. Current at the time of 4 seconds is, so here the charge is 8, time is 4, that is 2 amperes. No doubt about that. Now here the condition is find the current from the graph after 6 seconds, at the time of 4 seconds or 6 seconds. So let us say find the current in between the time interval 5 to 8 seconds. In between the time interval 5 to 8 seconds. Find the current in between the time interval 5 to 8 seconds. So I is equals to Q by T. I is equals to Q by T, or delta Q by delta T. Rate of flow of charge. From the 5 to 8 seconds, this due to the change in the time, charge remains constant. See the shape of the graph, straight line parallel to x-axis. Straight line parallel to x-axis, that means y component does not changes. If the y component does not changes, slope of the graph is 0. Slope of the graph is 0. Here charge does not changes from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Charge does not changes from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. So here according to the current definition, rate of flow of charge is called electric current. But here the charge does not varies. Charge does not varies. From 5 to 8 seconds, slope of the graph is equals to 0, because it is the straight line parallel to x-axis. That means y component does not changing. Y component does not changing. That's why slope is equals to 0. If the slope is 0, that means current I also equal to 0. From time interval between 5 seconds to 8 seconds, or from 4 seconds to 8 seconds also, the current is 0. So this is the current electricity, sorry. So this is the graph between Q and T. Next, The slope of the charge time graph gives current. Slope of charge time graph gives current. So area under IT graph gives, that means current time graph gives charge. Area under current charge graph gives, current time graph gives charge. So this is IT graph. Let us say the shape of the graph will be like this. So area under the graph. What is the shape here? Triangle shape. What is the shape? It is triangle shape. So that is area gives triangle half into base into height. So half into what is the base? Time. Height is I. So this is area. So slope of charge time graph gives current, but area under current time graph gives charge. So this we have to go. So based on this. Next. So let us do two examples based on these concepts. So current electricity 91. So here the problem is, in a hydrogen atom, electrons moves in an orbit. Electron moves in a hydrogen atom. Electron moves in an orbit of radius 5 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meter with a speed with a speed 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 meters per second. With a speed 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 meters per second. Calculate the equivalent current. Calculate the equivalent current associated with that. So we know the radius and we know the speed. What is the formula? Electron is given. So we already derived I is equals to EV by 2 pi r. If an electron revolving in a circular path, the current associated with that is I is equals to EV by 2 pi r or QV by 2 pi r. So I can be written as E is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19, V is 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 2 pi is 3.14 into radius is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 11. 11 comes to the numerator, 11 plus 6, 17. So 1.6 into 2.2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 by 10 into 3.14. So that is 1.6 into 2.2 divided by 31.4 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That is the value. Simply this value is 1.12 milliampere. If you have textbooks, you can calculate. So that is one problem, conceptual. Hydrogen atom, electron moves in an orbit of radius is given and speed is given. Current formula EV by 2 pi r. We already derived this. So based on that. Next, one more problem. The current through a wire depends on time as, question is, current through a wire depends on time as depends on time as I is equals to I naught plus alpha t, where I naught is equals to 10 amperes and alpha is equals to 4 ampere per second. Why it is ampere per second? According to units and dimensions concept, current must be equated to current only. Current must be added to current only. So here I is current, I naught is current, then alpha t also current. Alpha t also current. That's why the unit of alpha is 4 amperes per second. Find the charge. Find the charge that crossed through a section. In 10 seconds. Find the charge that crossed through a section in 10 seconds. So, we know I is equals to dq by dt. So, from this dq is equals to I dt. According to the definition, I is equals to dq, instantaneous current, dq by dt. dq is equals to I dt. Integral of dq is equals to integral of I dt. That means q is equals to, the time changes from 0 to 10 seconds. Time interval changes from 0 to 10 seconds. So, I dt, integral of I naught plus alpha t dt, 0 to 10. That's why q is equals to integral of 0 to 10 I naught dt plus integral of 0 to 10 alpha t dt. So, that is I naught t, 0 to 10. I naught is constant here. So, I naught in integral of dt is t. Time varies from 0 to 10 seconds. Alpha, integral of t dt, t square by 2. 0 to 10. Integral of t dt is t square by 2. So, that is I naught is given as 10. So, time interval 10 minus 0. First we have to substitute upper limit minus lower limit. Alpha value is given as 4. 4 into 10 square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. So, 10 minus 0, 10, 10 into 10, 100 plus 4 into 0 square by 2, 0, that is 100 by 2. So, 100 plus 200. So, 300 coulombs of charge. That is a way to do the problem. So, that's